go.
Yep,
Here we go. So our first time having Eric back in a long time,
Yeah.
and we want to do a mic check.
Yep.
Because you're concerned that he's going to talk quiet.
Yeah,
we
he
asked
does,
him to
yep.
do a mic check, and then he whispers.
Yep.
Intentionally. But before we got on air, Eric asked you if you were doing a comb over now.
Why do you got to bring this up?
Because
we
it was
didn't need
really
to bring
funny.
it up.
It was really
It's the same
funny.
reaction.
Your reaction was immediate and swift in that it wasn't a comb over, it was just a part.
And it wasn't a slight. I just was commenting. I haven't noticed it before.
Well, let me just throw this out there. At least his hair has a style. least
Jeff
he's
is trying to start a
trying.
fight down here.
At least he's trying to comb it. Eric, let's face it though. How many times has Eric come in and he still has like his hair stuck up from the bed?
yeah, it's all the time. It's every day.
You know,
I don't even try.
He's razzing you because you combed your hair, but this is a guy who's shaved his own head for how long now? Who really has no cares in life at all.
It was like 10 years.
It was yesterday. I asked him, if he was ever going to get in shape, and he said, "I'm a shape."
That was an air quote. Yep.
That was fantastic. Anyway, Eric's here with us today.
Hey, Eric. That's because Tim's gone.
Yeah, Tim's hunting down in Montello area. We woke up this morning in northern Wisconsin. We had a dusting of snow.
Yep.
I fully expected to hear on the radio on the way in that the Eagle River trails were open.
I thought they were going to be. We got more than a dusting in my house.
Oh, here we go. Eric lives 2 miles north of us, and he's going to claim that he has like 6 inches of snow on it.
No, these guys. He said he had nothing.
I had nothing. No accumulation
Brian
whatsoever.
lives west of me, and he barely had anything. But I had like an
Eric
inch and
had
a
a foot and a half.
No,
An inch and a half.
Seriously, yes.
Oh my God. You had an inch and a half of snow.
Yes.
He shoveled. He said he shoveled.
You didn't have an inch and a half of snow.
I did too.
Next time I need to see proof. We had maybe a half an inch of snow at our house. Maybe.
All right, but you can say that, but I mean,
Eric had a big snowstorm cloud that
wasn't like
sat over his house for the majority of last evening.
Welcome back, Eric.
That's great. Your kids can play in the snow tonight when they get home. Ours is all gone. Anyway, it's good to have Eric back.
Yep.
Eric submitted a story for us this week.
Yeah.
And without even knowing that Eric submitted it, I almost kicked it out, but I'm glad I didn't. Campground owner, a no-show for court, arrest warrant issued.
Yep. So that's the headline, which is like,
yeah,
exactly.
But the story behind it is just so good.
It gets weirder and weirder as you read it.
Do you wanna take it
this
since
is
you're
yours.
here?
Take it.
Well, this lady, the reason I know this is that I heard a story of her last year,
Okay.
where we were all in lockdown for 6 to 8 weeks, beginning of pandemic. She stayed open and she refused to close her campground. And I think she has a bar and stuff.
Okay.
And she refused. So I saw Shawano County campground owner, and it kind of rang a bell. So I started reading this, and so she's driving, and she's got charges of eluding and resisting police, which whatever, and she gets to a traffic stop and she refuses to get out of the car
Because she claims she's sovereign.
Yeah, she claims
So now
she's
what
sovereign.
does that mean?
That she's her own
Nation?
Yeah,
or what?
nation, basically. Yeah, she claims to be her own thing and go by her own laws. Our laws don't apply.
Yeah,
to
she
her.
stated she did not do anything wrong and was being wrongfully stopped, and that she was a sovereign citizen who would not get out of the vehicle.
A sovereign citizen.
So then you're like, okay, that's weird. And then she takes off again.
Well, yeah. So a deputy tried to pry the door open then, and she put the vehicle in gear and drove away.
I think she needs
And
to
almost hit the-
marry
almost hit the
sovereign
cop.
sovereignty. Wasn't that his name?
Sovereignty, sovereign, yeah.
Yeah, sovereignty sovereign. Her and sovereignty sovereign need to get together.
But it keeps going. Did you?
Yeah, nope, carry on.
Okay, go ahead.
So then, so she takes off, almost hits the cop, right?
Yep.
Then they put down the strips to stop her. Does she finally get? They finally get her out after that,
yeah,
and then she
vehicles-
claims this is where it is really weird.
Yep.
That she was trying to save one of her employees from sex trafficking.
Which is why she didn't
Oh,
stop
I
for the
missed
cops.
that.
She was in the middle
Yeah,
of
it's even.
she was in the middle of saving somebody.
Oh, that part I
Couldn't
missed.
stop. Yep. So the vehicle stopped a second time. Deputy broke the driver window with his baton. Door was open. She was taken from the vehicle in handcuffs, and she told the police she was rescuing an employee from sex traffickers, which is why she didn't stop for police, and maintained she did nothing wrong.
It's like
I guess I'm not really certain. I'm not able to pinpoint what exactly she did wrong, but I like what she did.
Well, in the year before, Eric mentioned the campground thing, but last year she was also ticketed for unlawful use of a telephone for posing as a Shawano County Sheriff's deputy.
Oh, she called someone and
Which,
pretended to be the
is
police.
that not like a felony?
I don't know.
She seems to have some trouble with the law
law.
enforcement. With
Right.
law, yeah. Yep.
Well, this is going to lead me into the. This is my favorite headline in a long time.
All right.
One stabbed during fight at Walworth County Strip Club.
Yep.
If you're going to get in a fight, it's going to usually be over a stripper. I think.
Yeah, an early morning fight at a gentleman's club in the town of Darien led to someone being stabbed and another unconscious. Yep.
Can
Deputies
you
respond.
picture this scene? I mean, it's like 2 a.m.
Yep. It is 2 a.m. on Friday.
One dude's unconscious. The other dude's standing there with a knife in his hand, blood all over him. I didn't do it.
The stabbing victim had already left.
He's like, I'm okay.
So the unconscious guy was there. The stabber was there, but the stabbee had gone. Went home. I don't know.
He's fine.
Stab someone and just take a nap.
Was it over a stripper?
I don't know. Let's see. The stabbing occurred at the Vegas club, but they did not release any details about the confrontation that led to the stabbing.
Why are strip clubs called gentlemen's clubs?
That is a good question.
Doesn't it seem like
No.
a contradiction?
It does. It does. Yeah.
There's nothing. Something tells me the clientele are not gentlemen typically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Can anyone figure out why maybe we call those gentlemen's
Oh,
clubs?
can you look that up, Eric?
I'm looking.
The history of a
Yeah,
gentleman's
so
club.
it says it originally set up by Britain's upper classes in the 18th century.
Originally it was gentlemen.
Yeah.
And now we've digressed to just.
Well, it was probably just a get together where you could sip some fine drinks and maybe have a cigar, and then it's like,
Yep.
hey, let's get some ladies in here.
all of
Yeah.
a sudden,
And then
scantily clad
Yep.
ladies started showing up.
just downhill it goes.
turned into stabbings and guys getting knocked out. Well, I think that the guy who got stabbed is the guy who landed his car on a garage roof. Car lands on garage roof after crash.
Yeah, where is this one?
It's in the middle.
Okay, so this is in Wisconsin Rapids.
A lot of stuff happens like in Rapids.
there's been more-
Shawano.
Yeah.
That one area, Pleasant Prairie or whatever.
Yeah, Pleasant Prairie.
Yeah.
No, that was Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are pockets of trouble. It
Yeah,
seems like.
there are definitely pockets of trouble. And what do you think causes the pockets, I wonder?
I don't know, boredom.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So a car ended upside down on top of a garage in Wisconsin Rapids after the driver missed a curve. So according to the report, the driver was just doing burnouts, spinning its tires.
No intoxication, just
Well, we're not there yet. It picked up speed and went toward a curve at the end of a road, and that's when the driver was unable to slow the car, missed the curve entirely, and drove right off the edge. Woo!
Is there a picture of the car on the roof?
The car, it's a very small picture. I'm going to see if I can open it up, but
Is it a sports car of
the
some?
car then came to rest on top of a garage in Wisconsin Rapids. Oh, do you got a picture up?
Yeah, you can't,
can't
really
tell
see
what
it.
it
You
is.
can't see what it is.
It is definitely upside down, though.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That is funny.
That is insane.
There's like blue lights coming out of the car. Was he drunk? Did it say?
It is not yet known if alcohol was a factor.
I can tell you it probably was.
I mean, that's not a, well, I don't know.
It's not a for sure. Alleged.
Yep, alleged.
Can we get in trouble for like making people guilty before they're actually? I think on like radio you have to always say alleged.
Well, you
Maybe
didn't.
if you're only a news source, we're not news. We're just opinion.
Well, you didn't name him, so.
Oh, that's true. You'd have to find some other guy who landed his car on a roof upside down in Wisconsin
Yeah.
Rapids.
I mean, they didn't name a name either, so it could be that he's under, you can't name names if you're under, 18 or
yeah.
21 or
Yeah, if you're under
18?
18.
Yep. So maybe it's a high school kid being stupid and then
Well, I just heard Karen come down. So I went to Crandon, Wisconsin.
Good old
which is-
Crandon.
which is where they were playing the Squid Games at recess.
yep.
At the On Deck Platter on Lake Avenue in Crandon, 4.5 stars, 90 reviews. Well, Karen, go ahead and then we'll go into what they
Okay.
do here.
Sushi was good for a small town in the North Woods. Ambiance leaves much to be desired, with the owner cursing out loud at the TV when his football team doesn't perform well.
This to me is normal. Like, this guy is the guy that's the problem. This reviewer is the problem. Who doesn't yell at the TV when their favorite football team is not performing
That's
well?
why I prefer to watch the games
at home.
Yeah.
This guy has to hold down a job, though. So what's he supposed to do? But of note, this is a sushi place in Crandon, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Like, where are they getting that fish from?
Fly it in. Like, seriously, like
How many
everybody else.
are there?
To the Forest County Airport?
how many
Baylor?
good-
Where do you think Kobe Sushi in Minocqua gets their fish
Well,
from?
I get it. Even them.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's overnighted.
no way.
Yes, it is.
No. It's flash frozen, I'll bet
Well,
you
flash
anything.
frozen and overnighted.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
But couldn't you make the argument for anywhere that's not on a coast? You know,
Yes.
like Milwaukee, Chicago. Where are you getting your sushi from? It's just 'cause-
Theirs might be flown in. Something tells me it's not flown into Crandon. The cost
Yeah.
of flying fish into Crandon, you'd be paying like $95 for a small roll of, like a small California roll. That's my 2 cents. But I thought it was perfectly fine that this guy was yelling at the
Well, I
TV.
wonder who he's cheering for because it's not the Packers. I mean, they're doing fine.
Well, this
Could be a Bears fan or
we
something.
don't know how old this review is.
No.
He could have been that New Orleans game.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Could have been week 1.
Well, what we should cheer for is the Bucks are going to the White House.
Yeah.
November 8th. That's like this week.
Yeah. Week from yesterday, so Monday.
Is Giannis going?
Yes, he is. Milwaukee will be the first NBA champion to visit the White House since 2016 when the Cleveland Cavaliers
Oh.
visited Barack Obama.
Why
So
is
nobody
that?
visited Trump. I don't know if he didn't invite them or
There
there
was some shunning.
was some shunning.
I didn't know that.
I think if I won something prestigious enough to go visit the President of the United States,
I'd put my political views aside.
yep, and do it.
Yeah, I guess I don't think I could ever. I guess my political views have never been that steadfast that I get that worked up about any president. So I guess, I'd go.
Yeah. How about you?
I'd still go. I mean,
No matter who.
no matter who. The White House is.
The White House is the
It'd be
White
cool.
House.
It'd be cool to
You
be
get
on
to
the.
shake the president's hand with all your teammates.
Yeah. I mean, how many people get to go inside the White House? That's elite company.
Yeah.
Do you think that Giannis is going to shake his hand and say, "Let's go, Brandon"? Probably not.
Yeah. Are they chanting that at the Bucks games?
Are they?
I don't know.
They were chanting something at, what game was I listening to? And I couldn't figure out what they were chanting. Might have been the Badger game, which there's typicals there. But there was something being chanted at a game, and the announcers were totally ignoring it. So you knew it was something not good. But I couldn't figure it out. So that story went nowhere. My apologies.
Okay.
But there's the greatest show on earth, and I don't know that they'll chant "Let's go, Brandon" at this either. But I knew that the circus started in Wisconsin, and it's coming back to Wisconsin next year.
Yeah, it had a lot more connections than I realized.
Well, is that why the Circus World Museum is here in Baraboo?
I would assume so. Do you know much about the circus in Wisconsin?
I don't. Not at all. I
Well,
mean,
if only we had Google.
So let's see. Founded in Delavan in 1881, following the merger of two older circuses.
Barnum Bailey, right?
Barnum and Bailey Circus, went on to become one of the largest in the world. It was actually one of more than 26 circuses that set up their winter quarters in Delavan from 1847 to 1894.
Seems odd they'd winter in Wisconsin, doesn't it?
Yeah, winter quarters. I don't
And
know.
wouldn't you think they'd have elephants and all that then, for sure? Because wasn't it like lions and elephants traveling back then?
I would think so. Yeah.
So anyway, they're bringing that back next year.
And then in 1884, the Ringling Brothers Circus got its start in Baraboo when five brothers decided to start a vaudeville-style show.
What is the Circus World Museum in Baraboo?
What is it?
It's all part of my dream vacation in the Dells. You're obviously not a Gear Daddies fan.
No.
There's an entire song about the Gear Daddies sing a song about, I think it's called Dream Vacation in the Dells. And then they talk about like what they're going to visit, and
Oh.
part of it is him and the Circus World Museum in Baraboo.
Ringling Brothers purchased Barnum and Bailey in 1907 and formally joined with it in 1919, creating the greatest show on earth.
So this circus still exists for profit.
That's what it sounds
What's
like.
the name of the circus now? Is it greatest show on earth? Because they kept referring.
Yeah,
to that
that's.
in the
I mean,
article.
maybe that's trademarked, but it's just called the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
so the Circus World Museum is the former headquarters for the Ringling Brothers.
And it is a circus museum now, and in Baraboo,
Yep.
all part
Yeah,
of your
I don't.
dream vacation.
I knew there was. I didn't know we had that extensive circus
Yeah.
history. Like, what
I
about
could see that
Wisconsin?
being a
is-
Weiss family field trip.
Could be.
I think it should
Could be.
You take your kids on good field trips, and I'm suggesting this one.
All right.
This is more an outlier. You're more like railroad, learning something. I don't know what they'll learn from the circus museum, but I still think it would be a good family.
There's learning to be had at the
a
museum.
good Weiss family.
Yep.
Well, I kind of blew it when we had something happen in Wisconsin Rapids, but 2 women were kayaking, and they found like a prize that this author. I didn't know anything about this, and I'm not familiar with this author.
No, I'm not either.
His name was like Kayak Jack. Is that the author?
That's the book series.
Okay, so the book series is Kayak Jack, and is it a Wisconsin Rapids author?
Nathan Kipley, 38, lives in Appleton, and is the author of Kayak Jack and the 5 Treasures, which is the second book that follows the adventure of a young boater named Jack, who enjoys leaving treasures for people to find.
Well, he left a treasure.
Yep.
And laid hints down, and the treasure was $500. So I don't think he sells a lot of books, but it was still a treasure nonetheless.
Yeah.
So what's the story? These women searched for it for a long time and almost gave up.
I guess so, yeah. Well, the stories are fictional and standalone as books, but he also plants treasures where the fictional Jack does. And the stories include clues where they are in real life. So, fun for people around here, I guess.
Only if you're from Wisconsin.
These 2 women, girls, searched the Wapaka chain of lakes for weeks and almost gave up. And did one more, like, hey, this is the last time we're going to go out, last-ditch effort. It's getting kind of cold now. And they found it.
Lo and behold, it was attached to a Bud Light can.
Yep.
I like how he did it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A Bud Light can with a piece of string tied to it floating in the Crystal River.
Had $500 in a waterproof container attached to it.
Yep. Well, I'm kind of intrigued about these books then.
Well, I think it was a smart thing for him to do because the Wisconsin Rapids News picked this up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of smart. So for $500, he got some press out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think of it that way. And if anyone else picks this up, which I bet you it will get picked up by more, because it's kind of an interesting little story. So he got a little bit of. It was a smart way to get some press going around his books and himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, I might check out these books.
Literally, like from a library.
Yeah, I love the library.
He'll get a call this afternoon saying his books are in.
Will he?
It's
'Cause they use
it's
that
every
whole
few
system.
days.
They use that big system. Well, there was a guy reading a book in his deer stand,
Yeah.
and a bear came walking through. He didn't think anything of it. He lost sight of it. Next thing he knows, it's climbing a tree behind him. And it bit him.
Oh, bit him.
Bit him right in the back.
You mean she bit you? So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, apparently it says it's definitely not totally uncommon.
That's what the sentence reads.
That's what the guy
Yeah,
said. Yeah,
that's-
this is a quote from the guy. It's definitely not totally uncommon for a bear to go into a tree with a hunter, but the fact that he actually started gnawing on me and stuff, that was a little abnormal.
I had a small bear start up my tree one time when I was sitting in my bow stand.
Really?
Yeah, I typically I've
I mean,
no
pretty
fear over.
they're pretty skittish though,
Yeah,
right?
once I let him know I was there, he immediately went back down and ran. What's weird about this story is this guy said he lost sight of the bear, didn't he? And like I read this story last week because it came out the same day we published our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And the story that I read originally was like, well, I lost sight of the bear, and then all of a sudden he was up the tree behind me. So I'm wondering if the bear was as startled as the dude was, and that's why he got bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It says the bear was between 250 and 300 pounds.
You know what I'm saying? Like the bear was like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah. Well, and then it said the bear would linger below him for another 30 to 45 minutes before wandering off. So he got the bear back down, and then it just kind of paced around below him for another 45 minutes. And then he did lose sight of it, and he said he was making I think it was a quarter mile back to his truck. He was on the phone with his buddy the whole time, like, just in case if my phone cuts out.
I'm being eaten by a bear.
Yep, I'm being eaten by a bear.
Potentially a rabid bear.
I suppose bears could get rabies.
Yeah,
just like
it says he got the rabies vaccine just in case.
Oh, he did? I heard, isn't that thing like just like the vaccine is almost as bad as the getting the rabies? I guess rabies kills you.
I don't know.
I heard it's a nasty shot though.
I'm sure it is because I mean, that the virus itself is nasty.
I hope we don't go into rabies quarantine.
It's the closest thing we have to a zombie virus.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, what he was missing was the bear spray that the guy in Lincoln County had. Because then he wouldn't have gotten bit at all.
This is another wild story, much like the campground one, where
Yes,
it just
it
kept
is.
going and going and going.
Yes, it is.
Did you read through this one?
No, I did not. But I gotta ask, what is bear spray? Like I've heard of it.
It's
Is it
pepper
pepper
spray.
spray? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what
But
I
it's
think.
it's got a little higher concentration of the good stuff. It's,
Probably.
Yeah, it's a little more potent, I
Oh,
think.
jeez.
I think they're very similar, but it doesn't matter either way. It's pepper spray.
So this is a 54-year-old guy from La Crosse, and he was up.
This is the first time lacrosse has gotten in trouble with us. in a
Well,
while.
he was up near Tomahawk.
Oh,
So,
better.
yep.
Okay, there you go.
He got stopped near Tomahawk because his vehicle's plates didn't match the vehicle he was driving. Which, as a cop, I'm surprised you're able to. There must have been some other tip-off because what would make you think to check the
Why
plates?
would he run the plates?
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
swerving or something probably.
So then they initiated a stop, pulled him over, and the driver gave him a fake name. So that bad step there.
Did it match the car that should have had the plates?
As the deputy was investigating, the man sprayed the deputy in the face with what was likely bear spray or extremely highly concentrated pepper spray, and then drove off.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's ridiculous. A second deputy then pursued the suspect.
Do you think? Can you pause 1 second?
Go ahead.
So, do you think, like, if you were to pepper spray an officer, is there levels of like police what
Abuse?
Yeah, brutality. I don't know what you call it, but like,
Well, that would,
if you were to punch him or pepper spray him or shoot him, I get it. Those three distinctly different things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say the pepper spray. Then, if you were to hit them, that would be physical. You actually touched them. And then, obviously, to the highest degree, you shot them or something or stabbed them.
Yeah.
Or to me, it should all be the same.
You're-
Like, if
you're-
you with a police officer, it's all the same.
could they deem that assault with a deadly weapon?
Well, that's probably it. That's it. That's probably what it. I don't know, because I wouldn't think that pepper spray could ever be deemed deadly. But then there's boxers who have been
yeah.
arrested because their fists have been
Oh.
Yeah.
categorized as deadly weapons. I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, does it say what he got charged with?
Well, I'm not to the bottom of this story.
Keep going.
yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
At the end, it says the suspect is facing numerous charges, including battery to a law enforcement officer.
So battery, in this case, with the pepper spray.
Yeah. So after he bear sprayed a cop and then drove off, a second deputy pursued him at speeds in excess of 95 miles an hour until three other deputies were each able to join and deploy the tire deflation thing again. So they cut his tires.
Thank goodness for those.
But that didn't stop him because he kept going over 70 miles an hour even after all four tires had been deflated.
No way.
Still driving 70. So then he turned down.
in someone else's car,
He turned down.
as far as we know.
Yeah. Then he turned down some dead-end road and ended up in somebody's private yard. And the four deputies got out to take him into custody. And he sprayed one more in the face.
Jeez.
And after that, his car burst into flames.
Start on fire.
Yep. The three remaining deputies were able to take the suspect into custody just as the vehicle he'd been driving started on fire and became engulfed in flames.
Well, what do you figure when you drive 70 miles an hour with no tires? There's a
spark-
lot of bad
sparks
things happening.
flying.
Yeah.
Sparks and who knows what. So why was the guy fleeing? Was he wanted for anything else? There's no
just-
background?
no backstory. But
Does it give his name? You need to look up his name while we're talking.
it does not. It just says a 54-year-old man from La Crosse.
Because I wanted to look him up like Sovereignty Sovereign and see that track record.
I mean, he's got to have one.
Yeah, I'm curious why he was running. There's got to be a good reason why he was running. But anyway, so his car burst into flames.
Yep.
Which is a lot like this house. Manitowoc teen forgives homeless man that set her house on fire.
Yeah.
I felt when I saw that picture, I was like, "Aw."
Yeah. Well, this is a 56-year-old man named Charles Cantrell III. He destroyed a home on the 330 block of, where are we at here? In Manitowoc, yep. She was in the process of buying the home because it was the home that her grandma grew up in.
Okay, but hold on. She's 16.
Yeah, I don't understand that either because the headline is,
Yeah.
a teenager. So, I don't know.
Maybe she's TikTok famous or something.
I guess you can buy a house if you're 16. There's nothing to stop you if you got
Yeah.
the money, right?
Yeah.
You can't execute a contract when you're 16, no, not legally.
So this 56-year-old guy admitted to setting the fire to stay warm because he's homeless, and then the fire just got out of control. So he's jailed on suspicion of criminal trespassing and negligent handling of burning materials. So burnt down her grandma's house. It burnt.
It burnt.
Yep.
Burnt.
She wanted to move her grandma back there once the home was purchased and fixed up.
Well, I'm glad her grandmother wasn't in it.
No, No. So this is a very nice teenager because she was going to buy this home that her grandma used to own, fix it up, and put grandma back in there. And then this guy set it on fire, and she had the capacity to forgive him for it.
Well, she didn't own it yet, so it's easy to forgive him when it's not her house.
I guess, but
Right.
but when you got plans and dreams of
Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't her house.
no,
She's like, well, that's all right. I really didn't have the down payment anyway. I'm off the hook. Grandma can't be mad at me now. Grandma's not going to be pissed at me.
no.
Well, from a house that's hot to Dave's Hot Chicken. Signs a 14-unit deal in Wisconsin. So I'd never heard of Dave's Hot Chicken.
I've never heard of Dave's Hot Chicken
Did
either.
you read what Dave's Hot Chicken sells? Because it sounds so good.
I did not.
Get to the bottom of the Dave's Hot Chicken article.
Okay.
And Dave's Hot Chicken.
Specializes in hot chicken tenders and sliders with spice levels ranging from no spice to Reaper. Each restaurant also serves sides of homemade kale slaw, creamy mac and cheese, and crispy fries or cheese fries.
He belongs in Wisconsin.
This is not that old of a place. It was founded by four people in 2017.
Yeah, only 4 years old. What I couldn't figure out is where did it start? Is the hot chicken is usually like a Nashville thing?
Yeah, I think I wanted to say that this was in Illinois, but I'm not sure.
Do you know where the hot chicken guy started, Eric?
It says Chicago is their address.
Yep, 58 stores, or excuse me. In addition to the deal with, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing here. But anyway, so this was founded in 2017, originally as a parking lot pop-up, but the lines quickly wrapped around the block, and they decided to turn it into a store and been franchising it. That's a big deal. 14 stores.
Yeah. The guys who did it, it sounds like if you look, it said they owned a bunch of
Yep.
other franchises.
That's what I was reading. So yeah, they also own the largest Qdoba franchise in the country.
yeah.
They
so
own 58 Qdobas.
they clearly know what they're doing.
I guess so, and on a large scale.
Is Qdoba that Mexican place?
Yeah, they're like Chipotle. They're like the Chipotle
Yeah.
competitor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
make
I was
the-
thinking of Chipotle. That's what I was thinking of.
they make those burritos as you go through the line.
Yep.
So Qdoba is a Chipotle knockoff? Because
don't know
Chipotle
if-
started in Wisconsin, didn't it?
I don't know. But
Well, Eric can look that up. I don't think so.
I think the first Chipotle was in Wisconsin. Or the guy who started it was originally from Wisconsin. Chipotle has a Wisconsin tie. Or the outbreak of salmonella at Chipotle
Was
started
a
in
Wisconsin tie. That's the
Somewhere it all comes back to Kevin
they're based
Bacon.
in California.
Somewhere it all comes back to Kevin Bacon.
So you were
So-
not close there.
Does that it doesn't say where they're putting those restaurants?
They're all going to be southern Wisconsin.
No, there was one
that's
in
a-
like Green Bay and Appleton, I thought it said.
Well, it says they're going to open 14 locations across southeast Wisconsin.
It said Green Bay, Appleton. I swear it did.
No Three Lakes?
Google Chipotle plus Wisconsin. Am I dreaming that it said Green Bay and
No, it
Appleton?
does not say Green Bay or Appleton in this article.
What the hell? I read that article and it had some cities listed in it.
Nope, it does not.
Okay, well, apparently I didn't read that article, or I mixed it up with another article.
Yeah,
that we're
could have been.
talking
We got a
about.
lot of stories going on.
Yeah, there's nothing about Chipotle in Wisconsin like being tied together.
All right, so much for that. Maybe it was Qdoba.
You want to look that up?
No,
It's over.
Is that this food? Are you going to go down to Dave's Hot Chicken?
I want. Well, I was.
Oh
'cause
my gosh, that looks
It
good.
does. It looks so good. That's what I'm saying.
Look at that slider. Oh man, with
That's
the
why.
cheese on
That's
that.
why I was excited because I thought there was going to be one in Appleton.
Well, let's see if they got the future.
Oh my God, that looks so good. We're not supposed to talk about food on air, remember?
I know we're not supposed to eat food.
Well, there's two people who could have opened up a bunch of franchise stores had they gotten away with it because they got away with they almost got away with $750,000 from the Spooner Treatment Center.
That's a lot of money.
$777,000 they embezzled from the Spooner Treatment Center.
Yeah, let me look this up here.
My curiosity
lot
comes
of money.
from how much money came through the Spooner Treatment Center, or was this over a significant period of time?
Well, 2 people are sentenced for their roles in stealing money from the Addiction and Counseling Center. The 77-year-old Edith, and her last name is Schmuck. 77-year-old Edith Schmuck of Rice Lake was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison. She worked as a bookkeeper for the center in Spooner. They offer mental health, alcohol, and substance abuse services for Native Americans. And she and the nonprofit's executive director, a lady from Minnesota, embezzled more than $777,000.
Does it give the time frame? It doesn't say like over 3 years or over.
The executive director is getting 2 years in prison. They both pleaded guilty this summer. And are you reading?
Yeah.
Keep going.
They gambled it away at the
Yeah.
nearby casinos.
Yes.
Well,
The judge in the case said the two gambled away most of the money at nearby casinos.
Yeah, it doesn't have a time frame of.
so I just can't wrap my head
Man.
around how you get like embezzling money in general. It's like, okay, could you get away with $100? Sure. Could you get away with $1,000? Maybe. Could you get away with 10,000? Someone's got to notice.
Yeah.
Like at what point? I guess if you're the bookkeeper and nobody's checking on the bookkeeper, but who there is saying like, how come we barely have enough money to pay the light bill? That's what I don't get about these places. It makes you wonder, like, how much money are some of these places going through if you can steal that much? And it takes.
Well, a place like that, it's probably getting grant money too.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Yeah, because they must have.
Eric, you should start embezzling from the daycare.
If
there was any to embezzle.
Yeah, right.
Well, Eric's wife owns a daycare.
Yep.
If he could start stealing money from his own daycare, who's going to catch him?
Well, he either already is, or there's no chance of that because I know they're sitting at an even keel. I think.
Say, I know from experience that's where they're sitting. Well, the last story I was going to talk about is the Dane County Waste Management wants to purchase a portion of the Yahara Hills Golf Course because they need more landfill space.
This is a bizarre story.
Well, I'm confused. Like, so I wonder if this is a nicer golf course and it's right next to a landfill?
Yeah, the Dane County Waste Management says their landfill's running out of room, and their proposed solution, we're going to buy 18 of the 36 holes at Yahara Hills Golf Course.
Do you ever wonder
huge
where
course.
all the world's garbage goes? Like, where is it going?
Yeah. Okay, so the first time that I ever took something to a
landfill?
to a landfill, yeah, it was in Oneida County. And the first time I went there, it's like, it hits you like, my goodness, we as a society need to do better than this. There's so much trash.
But you even think about just like personally, like, you got to be going through like a pretty big bag of garbage a week at your house. You have 3 kids. You know, it's like, okay, so just you generate one bag.
Yeah.
In tiny northern Wisconsin, you probably generate another bag or two.
I'm probably doing more because I got a baby.
The-
So,
the-
yeah.
Oh,
right.
yeah. Those don't, yeah, that doesn't break down.
Nope.
We generate a bag every couple of weeks or so, you know, but again, it's like, and that's just us.
Yeah.
Like New York City, like, where is all this going?
That's true. Like a city like that, yeah. I don't know. Bottom of the ocean?
And the stench at the landfills is something that it's just nasty.
Like, you see the big landfills and they generate methane. And they usually just burn it off as waste, so it doesn't even have any.
Yeah, I mean, is that
value.
what a land? Did they just slowly burn it? Is that
Yeah,
how?
usually you'll see those little torch fires going on top of them. They just burn it off.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Dane County needs more space because they got too much trash. The first phase of their plans could cost up to $32 million. All 36 holes of the course would remain open for the first 2 years, but by year 8. The eastern half of the course would be a state-of-the-art waste management
So a guy
facility.
that used to work here, I won't name names,
Okay.
and now, though I admire this because we're talking about where all this garbage goes, he would take his cereal bags and empty them out and reuse them as sandwich bags.
I don't remember who
I don't
this
know who this
individual
is
is.
This is
either.
before both of your time.
Okay.
He would use cereal bags, empty cereal bags, as bags for his sandwiches at lunchtime, and then continually wash them out and reuse them.
Wow.
That's the guy hardcore for the
that's
for the
dedication
environment.
too.
Yeah.
You know, they think they're missing
So
out on this.
The same individual worked here a long time and never drove a gasoline-powered car to work that I can count more than on one hand. So anyway, some people are doing their part, and then there's like me. Is there anything going on in Wisconsin this week?
Well, there are a couple of events. You know, in Wisconsin, it's November now, so we're starting to get into less and less things happening outside. Oh,
I had to go to Walmart, which I go to Walmart 4 times a year.
Okay.
Under I don't want to go.
you hit your quarterly limit already?
Yeah, I just don't like to go to Walmart.
Okay.
I don't know why. I have no good reason. I just don't like Walmart.
Okay.
I had to go in there on Sunday morning pretty early. I go in there Sunday morning, which was Saturday night was Halloween, right?
Yeah. Oh, did you clean up on the candy?
Okay, so I went in there with the full intention of like, well, if I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to take every Reese's pumpkin they have.
Oh, yes.
Went in there, all of the Reese's was Christmas. on Sunday
What?
morning by like 8 a.m.
Wow.
They had done a full swap over from Halloween to Christmas.
That's-
Christmas candy was out on November 1st. There was no clearance,
Wow.
no clearance pumpkins to be had.
Wow. We should go to the general. See
I-
if they got anything left.
Yep.
Was gonna send you guys with some money to the general because that went through my head on Sunday morning. I'm sending them to the general.
I
and
completely forgot
We
about
probably
that.
missed out on the good stuff already. though.
Probably. I didn't even think about it this year. My kids made a haul. I don't.
Oh, trick or treating.
Yeah.
You didn't need more candy.
No.
On one loop.
Did you go to Rhinelander?
We did Sugar Camp and Pine Lake and
Oh my
then
gosh.
3 Lakes. Yeah. Tell you what, the trunk or treats. If you can find a good trunk or treat, you can. You know what those are? You don't.
No.
Oh, trunk or treat. Okay, so a trunk or treat is a group of people. In this case, it was a church did it. Let's say, so they get members from the church to bring their cars in, open up the trunks, decorate the inside of the car, and they
then
hand
just
out
go car to
candy. So
car.
you walk through
So
a
you're in a
parking
parking
You walk
lot.
through a parking lot and hit
So
up 20 places
Time
for candy.
value of candy is significant.
Oh, yep.
Oh man.
Yep. There was one of those in Sugar Camp
I
and one
never
of those
heard that.
in
Was
Eagle
it
River.
at St. Teresa's or St. Cunegunda's?
No, that one was in Eagle River at Our Savior.
Oh,
But
and
then the Sugar Camp Town Hall does it.
has a trunk or treat.
Yep.
Do you have to be a kid?
I mean, you should dress up. I
There
think.
should be
at
a
heart.
trunk or treat too for adults.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
So like you
Trunk or treat.
TM.
you could do
Yeah.
trick or treat for trunk or treat for the kids and trunk or treat for the adults.
You know what I do like
Two
about
distinct sides of the trunk.
We should start that next year.
I've never experienced this in any other town I've lived in, but good old 3 Lakes, multiple places, walking around. Do you
On the same loop?
Oh,
Yeah,
there was
those-
2 on the same
Yep,
loop, but
they
then there
had,
was also
yeah.
a couple downtown over by the library that you walk by and they give the kids treats, and then they say, "Do the adults want a treat?"
And they had shots.
And it's apple pie shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was in Three Lakes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So I had 3 shots walking around with
Can
the
you
kids.
name names or no? Do I know them?
I don't know who the one that were sitting in the garage that was dark in
You
there.
yeah, I didn't know.
I don't know who they
yeah.
were.
Do,
I
do
do,
you know?
I know one of them.
So I would.
It
Would
was
I know
on
them?
Bonac
Yeah.
Loop.
Yeah, it was. Does he work for the town?
well, it was.
Does he have
it-
a son in high school? Oh, then never mind. Maybe it wasn't him. I fully expected he would have done this.
Well, we'll talk about it off air,
Okay.
then we can narrow it down.
Anyway, what's going on in November?
Sorry. Yeah. So not as much going on because it's that weird, awkward in between time where it's not warm enough to be outside, but it's not cold enough to play in the snow. It's just just
Well, unless you live at Eric's house.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah.
you can play the snow year
There's
round.
snowmen already.
Yep.
There's the blues, brews, and barbecues.
Well, hold on. Eric's on the phone with somebody. He's got to shovel off his roof.
It's gonna cave in. That's in Marinette.
Sorry, blues, brews, and barbecues.
Yeah, doesn't that sound good?
That does.
Yep. A night filled with amazing barbecue from 7 regional barbecue pitmasters and a local craft brewmeister. So there's that in Marinette. There's also the Dirty Dog Dryland Derby.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So that's essentially a sled dog race, except you're on a bicycle of sorts.
Yeah.
Being pulled by dogs.
That's cool. That's probably how they train in the off season.
Yeah.
That would be cool to do down the Three Eagle Trail.
Yep, you'll see
It probably beats the crap out of the trail, though, huh? Could it be any worse than a bicycle?
No, well, no, because they let dogs on it. They let bikes on it. So,
But all those dogs running in unison, like pulling?
I don't know. It says you'll see teams with bikes, scooters, carts, and dogs partnered with running mushers. So
That'd be super cool on the Three Eagle Trail. Probably too straight, though, huh? And nice.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would think the Iditarod is a lot of straight stretches too.
I just think it would be neat. I think you would attract crowds to see that because people love dogs.
It's not that far from here.
Yeah, this is in. Where's Pearson? Yeah, it's in Pearson. Where's that?
It's
Is that off of 32?
south.
Green
It's
Bay?
southeast at Elko.
Yeah.
It's over near Anago.
Yeah.
Oh, not where I thought. Kind of where I thought, but not where I thought. Well,
Well, yeah, that's this weekend.
we had a week with Eric. It was good to have him back.
Welcome back, Eric.
And
In a couple weeks, I'll be gone. Eric will have to fill in again.
what?
Yeah.
You got to teach him how to run all the audio visual equipment. He doesn't
I
know how to edit.
I just start clicking.
What are we going to do to edit?
Oh, true.
Why are you telling me this on air?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just to get your reaction. Just
Yeah.
like Eric's was supposed
Yeah.
to wait and tell me my hair's ugly on air.
It's that you're doing a comb over.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks you're gone.
Yep, I think so.
Well, we better figure that out. Is that things? Well, we usually take Thanksgiving week off.
No, this would be
anyways,
like the-
week before.
Yeah, I think the week before.
Well, maybe we're gonna have to take a 2-week Thanksgiving hiatus, or we're just gonna throw it up raw, and I gotta make sure I don't swear. All right,
We'll edit it somehow.
we'll
It'll be
figure it
great.
out. We'll send it to Paul.
There you go.
Doing nothing right now anyway. Good afternoon.
Good evening.
and good night.